Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Let me check my sound right here. Good evening. Let's make sure everything is good. Okay. Looks like there's a sound. Perfect. Let's see. Hello. Good. Good. How are you doing? Good evening. Hello. Hi, Mimi. Good evening. Good evening. How's your week been? Hi, Nietzsche. Good evening. How are you doing? Perfect. I can see you too, Mimi. She said I can hear you. Yes, thank you for confirming. How are you? How's your weekend? How's everyone doing? Hi, Love Faith. Hi. Let's see who else is here. You guys are on point. I tell ya. You guys are always ready to roll. I love it. Welcome. 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 I figured out something that helps me see your comments, but now it's like it stopped showing everything on my computer. So I'm gonna go back to my phone then. Let's see. I want to make sure I know everyone that's here right now. I want to say hi to you. Hi, Chrislyn. Good. Not with the sound, yeah. With the sound, yeah. How are you guys doing? How's your Tuesday going? Okay, let me mute this. Mute this. Mute, mute, mute. I'll still double check. Hi, Jane Bart. How are you? Hi, Fatima. How are you? Good to have you tonight. Hi, Funke. Hello, hello, hello. Don't we just love Tuesday evenings? Every Tuesday evening makes us richer. How are you? Okay. Hi, Abiodun. How are you? It's good to have everyone here. Okay. Just make sure that. Okay. I'm gonna center myself. How are you? How are you? Okay. Let's see who else is here. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited to be here. I'll just make sure the right mic is connected on my end. Let's see, settings. Because some of the mics are, I mean, every mic is not equal. Yeah, yeah. So I have the right mic. So hopefully you can hear me like crystal clear. How you doing? How was the solar eclipse yesterday? Did you guys witness that? How long did it last for? I think mine lasted for like maybe for 2 hours. Well, when I mean lasted, I mean like the duration before it became like fully dark. I think in Texas it was pretty rapid, something like that. I don't know. How was yours? Did you witness it? Did you use your phone to see how it was going? Or did you have like the goggles? Did you have like the eclipse glasses? Was it crazy? Were you scared? Did you feel like the world was coming to an end? Yeah, tell me about it. Hi, Christabel. I see you're watching us too. Welcome. Excited to have you. Yeah. Okay. And do you guys have kids on spring break this week? I have kids on spring break this week. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves in the comments? Hello. Hello, Nelly. Welcome. Introduce yourselves in the comments. Tell us where you're from. Where are you connected from? Are you in what states? And we can see if we have other people in your state watching as well or learning alongside. Okay, perfect. So tonight, and lol, I am always here. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see you guys still tagging others. So one more second before we get started. Perfect. Okay, if you're meeting me for the first time, if you're brand new to this group, my name is Yinka Ulmorin. I'm a coach on Acquire Real Estate platform. Done over 45 deals from real estate, wholesaling, to lease options, fix and flips, rentals, long term, short term rentals, multifamilies, and new constructions. And within 36 months, I was able to go from 6 to 7 figures. I invest with my husband, Gary, and you guys know him for the most part. Licensed builder helps our students a lot with anything that has to do with construction, scope of work, and fun things like that. I am excited to be here as always. Please introduce yourself. Hi, Boston from Georgia, Maryland in the building. Mimi, hi. Hi, Christabel, Dallas, Texas. Hi, Abiodun, Ohio. Wonderful. Wonderful. Welcome, everybody. Keep doing that. Keep introducing yourselves in the comments. Okay. And we're going to dive right into everything we're discussing tonight. Today, we're talking about 5 things you shouldn't do in real estate investing. Okay. So, 5 things you shouldn't do in real estate investing. Look, I know a lot of you guys here, maybe you're like, you have something going on, maybe a single parent for some reason, or maybe you have a job you don't like much, or you don't see yourself doing that for a long time. Maybe things are not as interesting as you initially thought. Like, you're so excited getting the job, and then you just figure it's not that cool. Or maybe you have like personal debts that you have to take care of. You have a large family you have to take care of, large extended family, too much taxes, you're paying too much taxes. There is a wide range of reasons why people would choose to invest in real estate, or why you guys are here learning to do better. Okay. Just give me a moment to mute the sound. One moment, please. All right. So let's get back to business. There might be a bunch of reasons why you choose to do that. Very good reasons why you're here. Okay. You have a reason as to why you want to do real estate investing. And yes, real estate investing will change your life in such a way that you can actually completely forget your pain or what you went through, because it kind of gradually becomes like a new rewarding way of life for you. However, I'm just double checking we have everything going. However, before you get to that point, you don't want to get too excited, okay? There are things you must not do, whether starting out or down the line, actually, in real estate investing, because doing things wrongly can really, really change a lot of things. So you don't want things to go south. So we're doing this tonight, and we're just going to dive right into it because it's very important. So the first thing you don't want to do is to buy a property because you like it. Because you like it. Maybe it's in a desirable neighborhood, it's a desirable property, it has an in law suite, it's so cool and nice, it doesn't need that much work. And maybe they even slapped on some discounts on there for you, right? So you, as a savvy investor, went ahead and analyzed the deal, and you saw like a slim profit margin of like 10K, and you get so excited, $10,000 or $20,000. Honestly, in the real estate investing world, that is a slim profit margin. Okay. It is slim, and our students know that. They don't do anything below 40K. Okay. So 10 to 20K is slim, but you're excited because you're new and you're like, well, at least I'll make something, or I'll just go in to learn, or I just really love this property. It's just something that's, look at the neighborhood. It's so cool. I mean, it's amazing. I love the property. But you forgot something. You're not going to live in it. You don't have enough profit margin. You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your shirt. God forbid, right? So you don't go into a property until you have analyzed it. Numbers only. Real estate investing is a numbers game. If the numbers do not work, no matter how cool the property is, do not attempt it. Look at my fingers. Do not. Don't attempt it again. You're going to lose money. So you have to analyze it correctly. Don't move if it doesn't work. And if you have like an extremely slim profit margin, you might not see 10 to 20 as slim, but it is slim. And you realize why sooner or later. Okay. So one thing you don't want to do is to buy because you like the property. It's just such a cool property. You're not going to live in it. So let's move on from that property and go pick another property that makes sense number wise. Okay. The other thing you don't want to do is going for a lopsided deal. And this term actually is a lender term. So when you're talking to lenders, they actually have certain terms for certain things. So a lopsided property means a property that needs too much work, too much repairs. And in many cases, the repairs is a lot more than the purchase price. So you're buying a property for like 50,000, for example, and you have to put 150,000 into it. You know, that's a lopsided deal. Could that deal be successful? Maybe, but not for a newbie, right? A newbie definitely needs to avoid something like that. Because what happens is you go crazy on that first deal. And because that first deal is so hectic, maybe it's even a fire damaged property or a property that's down to the studs. Down to the studs means you go inside and there is nothing. The walls are stripped off. You only have wood. You only have the framing inside, right? So that is a big, big deal. It's a lot of work. Going into things like that for the first time can make you actually promise never to do it again. And you don't want that. You don't want to go through a situation where you feel like you don't ever want to even smell anything related to real estate investing. It's going to discourage you. You're not going to want to try again. You can lose a lot of money. You can lose a lot of time because definitely it will take you longer than you expected. And when a project takes too long, you're dealing with a lot of expenses, holding costs, financing expenses, and all that. So it's not that much of a great idea. The other thing to make things worse actually is that lenders are not even excited to fund it. So before you get into the deal itself, you're already encountering funding challenges. Okay. And now you get into the deal and then you have other challenges. It's not that great. Okay. So definitely want to avoid that. Except, let's say the profit margin is out of this world. If it's out of this world, something that's never seen in history, in my opinion, then I'll say maybe. But generally speaking, don't do it. Okay. All right, good. And number three, here we go with number three, skipping important inspections. Okay. You don't want to skip important inspections. And this is why this is important, because some of you may think that, of course, we do inspections before buying a property. For real estate investors, not always, not always. And here's the thing, real estate investors, we pride ourselves in being able to buy a property as is. So we'll buy as is, we buy for cash and all that good stuff, right? That's usually what our offer sounds like, and very enticing. Cash doesn't mean you have cash in your account, but definitely hard money lending also is some form of cash, because if they can close that fast, then it is a readily available fund where you don't have to be in line for a traditional paperwork, right? So it does qualify as cash in most cases, right? But there is a limit to that kind of offer you can make, saying, I'm going to buy a property as is, you don't need to touch anything. A seller would love that and say, okay, I'm not going to pay commissions. I'm going to buy as is. If it's off market, of course, not paying commissions. If it's on the market, you can still buy as is. And some properties will actually say as is, but you still need to do inspections. Even if the property is on the market and it says as is only, still make sure you do your inspections. Okay. My nose is a little itchy. Let me just do this. Okay. So there's a limit to what you can take as an investor. Number one thing you want to do, as far as inspections go, is to inspect the septic system if it has one. Okay. If it has a septic system, you must do an inspection. If it has well, you should do an inspection. So thoroughly inspect. Here's why. If the well is bad, it can cost you upwards of 5,000, right? Plus, if the septic is bad, guess how much? You guys, can you type in the comments? Tell me how much you think a new septic system costs. I'm actually interested in knowing what you guys think about this. How much is a new septic system? Let me see your guesses. Who's guessing? How much? How much is a new septic system? Any attempts? No guesses? Okay. Well, I don't know if it's just lower in. Okay, I see the guesses coming in now. 10K, 12K, $500, 4K, 12K. Okay. And the winner is, let's see, 4K. You guys are really optimistic. I love it. Okay. Thank you for guessing. The winner is Natalie. It can be 20K plus, actually. So imagine you get into a deal and you have to cough out 20K extra. It's not fun. Okay. So make sure you do your septic inspection and well inspection as well. Because that 20K can be like all of your profits on the deal. Unfortunately, if like things kept happening and you just didn't make a lot of money and you get 20K. So would you rather lose that amount of profits? You don't want to pay out of pocket to close when you sell the property. You don't want to lose money instead of making money. Okay. Because you can't see the septic system physically. It's something that you need to get a septic inspector in the area for. Okay. So you need to get a septic inspector in the area. And what happens if, let's say, you're already under contracts and the septic is bad, right? You gotta go back and renegotiate that asking price. There's no way you're gonna close with that kind of septic situation. Some people get themselves in trouble without knowing these things, but you guys are getting free for free right now. This is what I'm saying in this few 3 minutes is what 20,000 plus in your pockets. So make sure. Don't be carried away because investors are making cash offer. Make sure to inspect what you need to inspect. Okay. The other thing, number 4, is what you don't want to do, what you shouldn't be doing in real estate investing as a real estate investor is underestimating your repairs. And that can happen when you have no clue how to estimate repairs. Or let's say you had a contractor go in because you heard, oh, we're just going to get a contractor in, they're going to fix it. Yes, I mean, sometimes a short training might not be enough to give you the whole picture, right? So you're running with that. You're like, okay, I'm just going to go and get a contractor, a trusted contractor, maybe a referral from a friend or somebody, right? And unfortunately, the contractor gave you a low price because they're not sure, but they're just trying to really save your money. And also they want you to choose them, because if you went for like somebody else that gave you a lower price, you're probably going to go with that contractor instead. So this contractor feels like it's smart to go into the deal with a low price, but along the line, they're going to have like change of order. They're going to tell you, hey, this is not included. They're going to tell you, hey, it's costing more. You have no choice than to cough out that money. So the contractor gave you a low price to get in. They got in the deal and they continue to ask for more money. You don't have any paperwork. You don't have no contractor resources, no solid contracts. You actually haven't learned how to manage a contractor. And you went ahead and hired a contractor. Big mistake. You're going to lose money, unfortunately, if you do that. You're going to come across tradesman issues. And trust me, tradesman issues are real. They know you have no clue what you're doing, and they can take advantage of you because you don't have actual numbers in your head. And they came and you're like, okay, I'll take it, right? You have no clue, right? So make sure you have enough knowledge before you hire a contractor. Very important. You'll be making a lot of money instead of losing money. Okay. And then number 5 is another mistake here, mistaking your cash flow. Let's say you're putting numbers together before you're buying a property and you said, oh, my cash flow, let's say you said something like rent minus my mortgage, because the tenants pay the utilities. So you're thinking I will make $700 every month on this property, but it's actually $200 a month for some reason. So you multiply 200 a month by 12 months and it's $2K for the whole year. And to make things worse, insults upon injury, you're self-managing. So you're making the same amount as a property manager and you had to put down payments into it. You did all the paperwork. It's your property. You did so much work. Yet you're just making what a property manager would make on the property. So going into the deal, you had no clue what the total expenses were on that property. Should you have a better deal than that? Let me know. $200 a month for $2,000 profits for the whole year. Type in the comments. I want to see what you guys think about it. Are you just thinking I just want to make anything, or you think it needs to look better? So if you're thinking it needs to look better, I want you to type look better in the chat. Let me see who's thinking like me. Look better. I want to see that. If you think it's okay, type okay. $2,000 for a whole year. Where you guys got? Bad investments. Christabel, you said, yeah, look better. Yeah. Podcast Savannah, Nelly. Exactly. So we're very like-minded here. You guys are thinking like me. I don't think that's great. I can get 2,000 somewhere else. I can do extra shifts for that, right? Yeah, it needs to look better. So you guys, one thing I want you guys to know is that cash flow is actually very, very important. Good cash flow is important. Some people will still go into a deal like that thinking it's a very good area, so I'm going to have appreciation. The property is going to be worth more. But because it's going to be worth more in the future, doesn't mean you should be losing money now or making nothing. Some people actually put extra money into a property on a monthly basis as landlords because they didn't educate themselves enough to know exactly what true expenses are on a property, aside the mortgage. So let me break down a summary of your expenses here for you. Make sure you take a screenshot if you don't have that. Okay, so your expenses should look like this. Total mortgage should consist of your principal, interest, tax, and insurance. So PITI means your principal, interest, tax, and insurance, plus or minus your HOA fees. If this is a homeowner association, if it's like a condo, if it's like a townhouse that has an HOA, there are fees that you pay on a monthly basis. So definitely add that to the mortgage side of things, okay? And the other thing you need to remember is utilities. Okay, so some of you guys are like, my tenants will pay the utilities, right? But it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you find yourself being responsible for utilities like garbage because you have to pay directly to the town, right? Water and sewer because you're paying directly to the town, right? They send you the bill, you got to pay. The town will not assign water and sewer to your tenants. You are responsible. The town will not assign garbage payments to your tenants. You are responsible, right? So always remember to include that in your calculation. The other thing you want to put away is maintenance and repairs. I can't even say this enough. It's not enough to have a property that's giving you 700 a month or more, right? But you have to think about maintenance. If you have to fix something, all the 700 you've accumulated or spent, maybe you've spent it or you've accumulated it, but it's still not enough to fix that problem or to do minor or major maintenance and repairs. So you have to set aside 5% of your rent for maintenance and repairs. The other thing you want to set aside is that 5% for vacancy. And that means, let's say you have to turn over, that's what it's called, from one tenant to another. Okay, so you're switching over from one tenant to another. You're going to at least lose 1 month of rent in that process if the turnover is a fast one, right? So how are you going to account for that month? Because that month you still have to pay mortgage, you still have to pay expenses. So you need to set aside that amount. You're going to have a lot of savings and escrow here as a landlord. So that if things happen, you don't pack up your business, your landlord in business, because you didn't save anything. The other thing you are going to need to save or actually set aside, it's not a saving, it actually is a direct expense, is your property management at 10%. Okay. So your property manager, can be lower if you negotiate it, but usually 10% is a good average for property management. Okay. Then one big one here is your CapEx. And CapEx means capital expenditure. Capital expenditure means like big items. If big items break on the property, what's going to happen? Are you going to be freaking out because you have to cough out money from your W-2? No, God forbid, right? So your CapEx are things like the boiler, the mechanicals, anything big electrical, issues with electrical panel if you had to replace it completely for any reason. The biggest one is actually the boiler or the heating system or HVAC, heating cooling system, right? Then plumbing can also be a big one. If you have freezing pipes for any reason or whatever it is, right? So those are big expenses that you don't want to turn your entire business upside down. And for that reason, you go into the deal prepared. When you're calculating rent minus expenses, make sure that you're accounting for all the single expenses. And then if you're still at the same cash flow you were thinking or you were hoping to make on a monthly basis, then it is a very good deal. Okay, I have one additional bonus way. I know we said 5, but there's a number 6 bonus here. And it's a big one too. Things you shouldn't do in real estate investing. So when you get a property under contract, okay, and different people say things like, you're going to see that in Facebook groups and all that, because I told you guys to go into Facebook groups to find a lot of resources, right? And we said exactly what those resources are and what you need to do with them. If you're lost about that, go into our previous trainings, okay? But while you're there, and then I also get this feedback from you guys. You guys are coming across people who are like, they're sounding like scam and things like that. So it's very easy to know for the most part. If anyone is asking you to pay money before closing on a property, it's a red flag. Okay. So outside of closing, if they're asking you to pay, if a wholesaler is asking for money outside of closing, before closing, if a hard money lender in quotes, or they call themselves private money lender in quotes, if they're saying you need to pay a certain amount before closing, that's a big red flag. All your money needs to come out at closing. That's when you're buying the property in the presence of an attorney or a title company, depending on which state you're in. Okay, so that's a big one. Do not pay, run. Okay, run as fast as you can. Okay, I knew and I promised myself that this was going to be one of the shortest trainings that we've ever had. So, you guys, type list in the comments if you want an expanded list of the 10 things to stay away from in real estate investing. And also, the other category is not for everyone. Okay, if you're looking to cut down your learning curve and expensive mistakes, and you want us to go over a session together to see how our inner circle looks like. So you basically get one-on-one coaching help through your deals. When you come in, we'll create a pathway for you, showing you how to find your deals, how to fund your deals, how to analyze your deals in a step-by-step fashion. Okay. So if you would like to see what that looks like, type inner circle into the comments and we will get you a spot on the calendar as well. Okay. It was nice meeting you here tonight. I think I covered everything. It was nice being here tonight and hope you guys all got value on things you should stay away from when it comes to real estate investing. And at this point, I'm going to say have a wonderful night and a wonderful week and a great spring break if you have one. Cheers. See you.